So guys, in this video we are going to work on our inventory. Before that I add some new items, so like the hook, and combine it with the Rumload, and the name of that block is hook Rumload. As you see here we have also the hook Rumload. Some item doesn't have the mouse item, so you can just use the same icon. It doesn't matter. So I just make some sprite bigger to look better when you want to drag them to other object or to other items. So the next will be Rumload, pistol, ring, and ring. So ring diamond and hook Rumload. And here, as you see here, we have the hook, Rumload, and the combination is hook Rumload. And you can write whatever you want and then exit the block. So you can just duplicate it. For example, here you can make write duplicated or use Control D. We name it, for example, something else like pistol, water, something like that, and then just change the items. So let's delete that. Now let's work on our inventory. So for the inventory, as you see here, it is work like that. Let me open it. Inventory. Here we have this inventory canvas, which if the canvas alpha is 1, then we are going to open the inventory, and then we want to close it, just we are going to make this inventory alpha to 0. As you see, at 0 we are not going to see that, and then we are open the inventory, we are going to activate it, and then we are going to deactivate it. So now to test it, we need to let's make it activated. Now first, as you see here, the inventory doesn't have any sprite. That we need to give the sprite to it to make it more beautiful. So as you see here, we have an image, and the image that we want to use is, let's click on that. I name it inventory. Let's search for that. That is the inventory of our game, and right now it doesn't match with the our game. So and let me see. Yeah, so we need to make the alpha completely. That's alpha is at this so at half, so we need to make it the max at 1, and that's one of the things that I want to do. And here I want it to be so at 0. So it's I don't want to be it at gray color. So now I think the item is too much for this inventory, so I'm going to, inside of our buttons, not buttons, panel. Inside of our panel we have 24 items. This one is the null, so 0, and this one we want, so when you count it with the 23, it's 24. So we want to remove around 10 of that. So we can remove until 13. So here I'm going to click at 14, then shift button and to 23, and right click, let's delete them. So now the amount of them is less than before. So let's now adjust our panel. Inside of our panel we have our grid layout group. So the size that I'm gonna use for here, I'm going to use the left padding at 255, and from the right side at 155. So the top at 90, and so the bottom is 0, I think, and cell size, it's a little bit too big, so I'm going to use 120 and 40. And if we want to, in the top also we can, yeah, we can change this one to, I'm going to change it to 401. Yeah, 411. That one to be 160, and this one will be 424. So I think that should be right now the good. So let's make it big to see how it look like. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so now let's make it small again, and I can make it here big. Next things that I want to do is, because as you see here we have a gray background for each of our items that I put before, I want to just change it to here. I'm going to make it first white and then make it transparent completely at 0. That's alpha at 0. So then we are not going to see that background. So next things that we need to do is going inside of, I think that's all that we need to do. The close button, you can work on that if you want. You can make it button or like curse for that, but I use here at the close so that the player know it can so close the inventory and use it in some object inside of our game or the inventory. So here now instead of our inventory canvas, I'm going to back the alpha at canvas group to 0 again. So we don't want to see that. Then let's go down. Here we need to add all the items that we add, the new items. Be sure that you use the new items. I'm going to use the one that I add. Pistol, I think I have the pistol. Ring and ring diamond. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here we have 7, so I forgot one. And that's this hook hamlet. So now I have also 8 as well, 8 item and 8 inventory item. So be sure that is all is the same, that you don't get any error. Then we have the item slot. As you see here, we reduce it this part, so we can just remove this part as well. So now we have 14 slots, and exactly with this one, the 0 one, we will have 14 slots. Now if we are going to add items, diamond, hook, pistol. Let's see how it look like when we are going to add them. So I'm going to play and open the inventory to see if there's something that we need to fix or not. So click on the button I. So we are going to open it. As you see, we have inventory item, but maybe we need to make the text a little bit smaller. so that they are, when you have a long name, they are going to match, and it's not, doesn't going to outside. So now here, if I'm going to use the range, he said use with pistol, this doesn't work, and if you use that with this one, doesn't work. So but if I'm going to use the ring with diamond, then I will have the ring diamond. And if I'm going to use the hook with ramrod, still I think somewhere I did make a mistake. I need to check it. Where did I did this mistake, so that I cannot combine them? Hook, ramrod, get egg. Yeah, always you need to check if there is a problem with that. Maybe because so the reason is because of, I think here, the hook ramrod. Maybe the ramrod I made mistake. I need to find it where I did this mistake. It's because of this one. I didn't click this one. So combinable, this one, hook is also combinable with one, and the result should be hook ramrod. So now let's test it again. So now when I'm going to open it, we have the hook ramrod. Now we just need to work on the text, because I think the text is too big for them. Here we have item name. So let's say the item name is, I think I'm going first to make it white, and then let's see how does it look like with auto size. Maybe it looks better. So here, and white. We need to do that for all of our item name. So I'm going to show you it. The reason that I'm going to show you this, because I want you also to learn to how to design your inventory for your next game. So guys, for that I used the 12 auto size 12 and 16. So to make it faster, you just need to open all of them, and with the control you can just click one by one. As you see, and then change it, for example 12 the minimum size of the text, and the maximum size of the text should be 16. You can make it bold or normal, or we can later change the font and also the space between characters. If you don't want any text under your object, you can also make the add one to transparent completely at 0, then you will not going to see anything. As you see, I'm going to play it, and we are not going to see any text under that. You will just see the items. But if you want to also to see the text, you can keep the transparent to 1. So now, as you see, that I have the pistol and the name of the item that we want. So Now we can close it and walk again. With I, we are going to open it. With close button, we are going to close it. And if you want to have more items inside of your inventory, you want to have smaller icons or have more items, so you can just increase your items and add it to your item slot. It's important to add them in the item slot, because if you don't have that, you will get error. And also you need to have all the items that you created inside of your inventory item. So I think that's all for this part. Yeah. So now for the next part, we are going to make some objects so that player can take that object and put them inside of inventory. So for example, like here we have this wooden stick that we have here. We need to put it inside of our game. Maybe it should be at 1. So let's make it ready for the next part. So we need first move our player. It's a little bit so we need to match it with that object here. So I think I need to make it to make it a little bit more bigger. So let's put this one here. Still I need to that big. So because it's a little bit cut, it becomes like that, but it's okay. So now I adjust it to a little bit looks better. You just need to play with that to put it in the right position. So now let's test it. Is everything for fun when our guybrush go near that object? I think we need to change the layer because you see as it's going a little bit more front, it's going to go to it. So we need to make a new layer. So here I'm going to make it to be, we can make it clickable, put it at clickable, and then we need to check the layer. We have the clickable. Maybe we can make the one is wall object, and here back. No, we don't need that one, just wall object. Okay. And if we use that, so I think we don't need that one as well. So what I'm going to do is that because the background is at 0, That means the wall object, you can put it at so default 1. I think so. Then the player, we should be, let's click close them, we don't need that one anymore. Then the Canon sprite should be default 2 and player default 2 as well. Important that the object in the scene, we need to have the same layer as the player. So now let's test it. Now we shouldn't get that problem with that object because it should be in front of us. Yeah, as you see that it is in front of us and we are still in front of the Canon. So now everything's worked fine. We add also that one here. So in the next part, let's do our objects and so interact with the objects and pick some object inside of our inventory. And before that, we can also remove all the items here from the inventory so that when we pick them up, we can see that we have them in inventory. So see you guys now in the next video.